hunting. So good topics to be discussing. Anyway, so here we are, and today is a work day. So I really want, if you guys do not have your supplies, if you don't have things with you, I literally want you to be like doing stuff, and I will give advice as you are doing it to minimize the stress. So for me personally, yes, it is stressful to try to do something you have no clue what to do. That's been the case all year, right? And all year I've been trying to tell you guys, when you're there, you just got to dive in and start doing it, and you'll realize, it's not that bad. And believe me, I have to tell myself that all the time. This whole experience has been all new. It's kind of crazy, and we like things in order. But anyway, Matthew, sorry. I certainly don't want to end the year with you like feeling so stressed because of me, but I don't really
Not
care.
that stressed. Yeah.
I think that's my job. And more than anything, as a teacher, I'm not here to make friends. I am here to teach you all, number one. So my goal is to get you comfortable with the unknown, because I know what your future is going to be like in college. And it's a great future. And whatever you choose to do, even if you're not going on to college, you will be, I hope, in situations where you don't know what to do and challenged to get out of it. And whatever that is, personally or job-wise, all of those kinds of things. Okay? So with that said, let's begin in prayer. Ben, do you have a video for us? My glasses.
No.
Yes, he
Not
does.
today. I need video today.
He definitely does.
I'm going to
He
use
definitely
your
100% does.
circuits as an example. So Jack emailed me his wiring. And Matthew, did you get my response back to you?
Yep.
Okay. Did that all make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you just had to add that in. So little things like that, like I'm learning, I can write on a PDF file and send it back to you. That's pretty cool. I never knew that. So I've learned, I think we all have learned a lot of technology, and that's just going to help us all in the end, honestly. So today, let's begin with a prayer. Let's see. Frankie, since you found out what you have, and now we can treat you, and you're going to be all back to normal soon, how about you lead us in prayer this morning? We'll give a
In the name of
prayer.
the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Son, Holy Spirit,
All right. Today's mustard seed. I said, usually I really, really like them. This one's a little bit strange. You ready? I don't know. You guys tell me what your takeaway is on this one. A boy takes a girl from the dance floor, not to deny her other friends, but so that he can communicate with her a little more. Jesus wants to do the same. I thought that was interesting. I think it means sometimes we need to have our time alone with Jesus to have personal conversation, just like you would with maybe your girlfriends at times, right? Anyway, that's my takeaway. Any other thoughts? Jack, you got a nice smile on your face. Do you ever take a girl off the dance floor away from her friends?
No.
No.
Ma'am, nobody dances anymore.
Oh, I dance. I'm so disappointed to not experience your prom with you all. I couldn't wait to see your dance moves. If there were going to be any. All right, gentlemen. So where are we? And circuit diagram. So Brendan, how are we doing with our circuit diagram? Last time you were a little confused. Any better?
Good.
Good? You think you're good?
You said draw the switch, so I just drew the switch. Or
Okay. Added your switches? All right, Drew, how about you?
What?
Any circuit diagram?
Well, I sent you one email.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that, but I did get one from Jack. So what I would like to do now is we're going to share Jack's circuit diagram.
Did you get mine?
I
emailed it to you this morning.
I have not checked I have a class before this, and then we have a meeting.
I just emailed mine to you. I forgot to email it to you, but I just did.
Okay, well, that's good. I can pull that up. So for right now, I just pulled up Jack's. So let me pull his. And
I emailed mine 2 days ago,
If
last
you
month.
guys can tell me, as I share that with you, what is up with Jack's here? What can we say about it? How can we critique this a little bit? So I'm going to expand this a little bit.
It's not color coded.
Do it in 5 minutes.
Color coded would be nice. Using a ruler would be nice. So remember that beginning of the year when I said, who wants the job? All right, Jack, I like this. You're just not done. All right, so Matthew, I'm going to pick on you. What does he have to do here to be done?
Oh, ma'am. The switches aren't connected to anything.
The switch is not connected to anything. So I like that you drew it here, but okay, I'm going to write this out. So if we color code, here we have positive, right? And here's our positive line going
I thought
around.
positive was blue.
So he left, usually we write it as red and negative is black or blue.
Oh, I did that wrong then.
That's okay, as long as you labeled it. So there's our positive, Jack. I agree with that. And I like that you were thinking down here and said, okay, I leave my positive and I go to my light. When I leave my light, right? So if I leave my light, that I'm going to do in a neutral color. You left your light and you went to your switch right there. Whoops, thought I changed my color. Okay, when you left your switch right here, you leave your light and you went to your switch. So very good, I like that. But you didn't finish, right? So Jack, what do we have to do here? When you leave the switch, where should you be going?
You got connected
To where?
to the resistor thing.
What do you mean by not? You don't have any resistor here. So look at my pen down at the bottom. Where am I going to? What is this? If I look at this, what is that symbol representing?
I don't remember.
Don't remember.
Battery.
The battery. So that's representing your battery. Brendan, what does the long line of the battery represent? I gave it away. So your battery has two parts,
The positive,
positive, and the short one represents
the
the.
negative.
So Jack, back to you. Here's my switch. Where do I go when I leave my switch?
You leave the switch.
Yeah, where do I go when I leave my switch? To the. Jack, are you watching?
I'm black.
Okay. Jack, are you ready? Listen carefully. Here is the battery, right? Okay. Here's my battery. I'm not sure why is that showing up here. You guys playing on my, all right, so here is the battery, right? It has that symbol. So this side of the battery is my positive. This side of the battery is my negative, right? So if I leave my battery, and I'm not sure, hold on one second here. We lost my, it stopped. It switched my annotating method here. Shrink the size. Go back.
Can we open this question up to the class and see if any of them know?
We already did.
Jack, what, bro?
All right, so if I go back to this, let's see, which my annotating.
Don't try to take us down with you.
Yeah,
I'm about to leave the meeting.
Shut up, no camera.
all right, we ready? All right, Jack, I go back to this. So we are down here, right? Here's my battery, positive, negative. Okay. I left the positive and went to the light. I leave the light and go to the switch. When I leave the switch, where did you go?
The negative.
Jack! Very good. You left the negative. So what do I have to do up here when I leave the switch?
Go to the negative.
There you go. That's it. And where's your negative? Right there. So you just never finished. You didn't connect your negative. outlets, so I wasn't picky on this on anybody's because I'm not sure how many of you guys, for an outlet, you can use 2 nails and just stick those in as an outlet. So if my outlet is here, I will take a negative and connect it. And then I will simply take the other side, jumps over to negative and goes to positive. So an outlet simply connects positive and negative. So literally when you plug things in, it's the way that you are going to reach into the wall and touch positive and negative. That's what you're doing. Now in a house wiring, in a real house, you also have the option of having a ground wire. That's really for safety reasons. So we're not putting in a ground, we're just doing this with what we call direct current. So your house is actually alternating current, okay? So with that said, I can pull up I didn't get all of your, do we want to look at all of your other circuit diagrams? Who needs theirs looked at?
I want to know if mine's like wrong. 'Cause, I mean, I think it's wrong, but like I'm not sure.
Okay, so Drew, you said you emailed it to me?
I emailed it to you like last class, like right after last class.
Okay.
I emailed you mine this morning.
Okay, so let me,
I can send it again.
nope, I see Ben's. All right, here we go. I got it, Drew.
Oh, okay.
Coach, I have a question.
So let's look at Drew's real quick. And who said they have a question?
CJ.
All right, CJ.
My Christmas lights have 3 wires coming from them.
Yeah, that's one of them does. They all shouldn't. Do they all have?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, only one of them
All
does.
right.
And the reason that one does, so that's a good question. So if you're cutting those up, so everybody, while I'm talking to your classmates, I want you guys working, cutting up lights, wiring things. So you don't have to be paying attention. I want you constructing. So if you have your box, if you have your wires and you have your lights, I want you to be working. And by the end of class, I want somebody to get a light on with a switch. Can anybody show me their thoughts on a switch? What's anybody doing for a switch? Did anybody build one? Frankie, do you have a switch?
Where does the battery go?
Okay, hold
Me,
on. Let me pin Frankie's video.
Curry.
Okay, hold it up a little bit, Frankie.
It's just 2 nails with a paper clip.
Okay, does everybody see that? He has 2 little nails and the paper clip's going to swing back and forth. He has his lights up here at the top. Excellent. Okay, so that's what I want you guys doing right now in my presence so that I can help you all out. Okay.
And you can get
Brendan, your question was, where do I put the battery? Okay, now hopefully the 9-volt battery is the easiest. So I just have mine taped to the outside of the house right there. If you want to tape it to the back, that's fine. It just needs to be in your house, taped onto it. And then you just took those positive and negatives and led them somewhere. So everybody right now should be able to start putting their positive and negatives. That's the first thing you want to do, is run your positive and negative lines. Jack, do you have supplies? All right, CJ, let me pull up your.
wait, what?
Okay. So CJ, I see yours, and then Ben, do you want to go over your plans?
We can. I don't care.
Wait, did you go over mine already?
No, Drew, because you left. Are you back?
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just getting my stuff from.
Okay, you ready? Are you ready? Okay, everybody, if you're not working on anything, so Jack, you can watch. Anybody else who is working? So I want you to be working near the camera. So if I have to get a hold of you, we can do that. So CJ, let's see. We're going to do the screen share. I can go back to. All right, CJ, here's yours, right? Okay, let's do a quick look. So negative and positive, very good. So I left the negative, left the positive, went to the light, leave the light, go to the switch, leave the switch, go to negative. Each outlet is on positive and negative. Let's see. Okay, so this outlet right here, or that switch, is that to be operating this outlet right here? Or what is that? What's the purpose of that switch?
That one is to connect the negative thing. Because it's only connected to the negative one. And then the positive switch is only connected to the positive one.
Well, you don't need a positive switch nor a negative switch. You need your switches to work something. So what is the purpose of the switch? What is it trying to work? A light? Is it trying to work the fireplace light?
Oh, that switch is supposed to work like the fireplace and the lamp, and the lamp is on the top left corner.
Okay, so the fireplace and the lamp up here. So this lamp and this, that one switch. Okay, so I'm going to draw off to the side, right? So if I have my positive and negative, you want it to work a lamp, right? And the fireplace. So I'm going to write that as a box. Okay. I'm going to put my switch here to shut them both on and off. So do you want them to come on separately or at
No,
the time? Same time. Okay. So we're going to turn the lamp. So are you looking here? I'm going to leave my positive, which is the dotted line, right? So is this positive right here?
I'm trying this down.
So I leave my positive and you went to each one of those. The problem is that should not also go to your switch. Okay. So if everybody even wants to, if you want, so if I leave my positive, you left your positive. Okay. And you should only be going to the outlet. So I like this, that you left positive and you go to this outlet and then you continue on over here and you go here. And then you go to this light. That's fine. All of them go to positive. It should not be here. Those should not be connected to positive. This should just continue through here.
Okay.
Okay. Where that should go instead is then when you leave these, okay, I'm going to do that in a different color. When I leave those, that should be right here, right? And I'm going to leave those and go to my switch. So when I leave these, I'm going to run that through here. That should connect to your light and then continue on to your switch.
Wait, that green is the positive?
It's a neutral. It is
Oh.
simply, it's this line right here. If you look off to the left.
Both.
Okay, so when I leave both of the elements, I go to my switch, right? So it's not connected to positive or negative. The switch is simply connected to each element.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Then the
I'm
other
sorry.
side of my switch should be connected to what? So here's my other side of the switch. That connects to, Jack can answer this for you. Where does the other side of your switch get connected?
To the negative.
To the negative. So Drew, this other side of your switch should go to the negative, not the positive.
So wait, the switch has like two sides or something?
Correct. Just like you did up here. This was perfect. What you did up here, look,
Mm.
you left the light and you went to the switch. When you left the switch, you went to the negative.
Oh, I think, yeah, I forgot to fix that. Okay.
That should be the same thing down here.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to fix that.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah. So the on the we wrote on the left. So the red is positive, and then the green is just neutral.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. All right, next, CJ, you ready? If we want to look at your floor plan.
Yeah, just to make
You have
sure it's
additional
right.
floor plan, you have lights. Jack, do you have any lights you can start cutting up?
I left all my stuff in my mom's house.
Uh-oh. All
I'm
right.
going there. I'm going there.
You know what
today.
you could do right now is redraw your plans because your plans need more to them. So you have one light. You now need two lights somewhere that work off of one switch. So I need you to add some things to your circuit.
All right.
So it needs, so you could work on that right now. On a
Yeah, I will. My computer's at 5%, so I'm gonna have to like kind of like be at a distance. 'Cause I'm kind of far from the outlet.
No, I mean, can't you just use it on paper?
Yeah, I know I can, but like I'm just saying, like my computer's about to die, so like, I'm gonna have to be like,
Near an outlet?
yeah.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay, so CJ, here's yours, pulling that up. Okay, let's see if I can, I thought I downloaded that. Let's see, no. Here it is. That's the one I want. Okay. Okay, so CJ, positive and negative.
I used red as negative.
Okay, okay. Positive, positive. Two lights go to that switch. Go back to negative. That's perfect. So all three of these lights are you putting in the ceiling? Or is this one a fan?
No, it's gonna be like two lights,
Okay,
but it's like a light fixture in a sense.
okay, So you have these outside lights working off of one switch, the one in the middle off of that switch.
Yes.
All right, is everybody looking at CJ's drawing if you want? If you're not sure about drawing, his are perfect. All right, so nice and neat, using a ruler, using a graph paper is a good idea. So each light, his blue is the positive. So each light is simply coming from positive. They leave and go to their respective switch. So the one in the middle goes to this switch. The two on the outside go to this other switch. And then both switches leave and go to the negative. CJ, I want to challenge you to do a three-way switch for the one in the middle.
So does that mean? All right.
What that would mean, I'm going to challenge you to do
So
that.
do I have to add in another light to get it on one switch?
No. Here's all you're going to do. All right, so let's see off to the side. I'm going to draw my three-way. Let's see if this will show up okay. So on the three-way, you have two switches. They have three dots. Okay. So what you would have to do in this switch, you'd have to, and then you're going to have your one light, right?
Yeah.
That light's going to go to positive, and then it comes and goes to both switches. So you basically could connect your tops of your switches, but they're not really connected. It's that they both go to the same part of the light. The middle part of your switches get connected, and the outside part of your switches go to negative.
So
Okay? And this is where you'd have your paper clip, if you're using a paper clip on the middle one.
so you want my big light on the three-way switch?
Yeah, let's try that. So all you'd have to do, if you're looking at your floor plan, is I would put your third dot right here, right? So now we're going to put 3, and then put your other switch on the other side of the room. Let's say over here.
So where it comes out, like the red line comes out, you're saying make one go to this switch that it's already at and then make another one like to the bottom corner.
Right, so this one's gonna go to that switch, and then I'll switch to red as well. So from that same part of the switch, I'm gonna come over here to this switch, from that same part of the light.
And then I put the bottom dot to the negative.
Correct.
All right.
And then the middle, you use a neutral wire, and you connect the two switches together. I'm gonna jump over this and connect the middle part of each switch.
All right.
Did you rip apart a whole strand of Christmas lights?
No.
No, well, you don't have to, but do you have a strand of Christmas lights? Because you'll need a lot of wire to do that.
Yeah, I have a roll.
Oh, okay, you're good then. That up. That's like a whole lot of lights, CJ. I feel bad. Did you cut those up?
Not yet.
Wow. Do you have a smaller set?
No, these are old ones. We don't use them.
You sure? Okay. So what you can do is you'll use that wire. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure you had enough wire. And Brock, I'm going to challenge you. Since you live near me, you made the offer a while ago if you'll deliver fans and motors. Anybody interested in that? No take.
Yeah, Brock, come to my house, drop it off.
Okay, next, Brendan, how can I help you today? Or Matthew, are you getting anywhere with your building?
Can you show me my diagram, see what I need to fix?
I thought you had seen it, what I sent back to you.
I have. Is it like,
But I can definitely pull it up, no problem.
Is the wiring on like the back of it? How do you like?
Mhm.
Is that just all wiring from the lights?
Correct. So do you have a strand of Christmas lights?
Oh, I do, but I cut them up like smaller, so I got to go get more, like a larger strand.
Well, when do your lights look like this?
Mhm.
Okay, so when you pulled, what you were to do is, this has your light on it. If I pull out my light, there's extra wire that doesn't connect to my light. So let me just show my video again, or pin this so it looks bigger maybe for you. All right, so when I pull that out, the only place I want to cut my light is right here. So if I take my scissors, which here, right? Then if I cut that, that will give me my light, right?
Right.
So now this extra wire is just twisted in there. So now I take off the next light, right? So that's leaving me this long wire right here.
Okay.
So you just keep pulling off the strands of lights. And then this leaves you nice long wire that you're going to use on the back of your house and to connect things.
Do you connect it with like tape?
Yeah, you can. Well, okay, so let's say this is my wire and I cut it right here, right? The true way you connect it is you actually have to strip that wire. So take off that insulation. I cut into it just a little bit, and then I'm going to pull off this insulation, and I'm left behind with this nice copper wire, right?
Okay.
So then I do that to my other piece. So then I just twist the wire together, and it stays together that way. Okay? But yes, after you twist it, you can take masking tape and wrap around it to hold it together. You can just tape it to your box to hold it up onto your box, if that makes sense.
And then all that long wire is going to be connected to the battery.
Yes. So this wire, one of them can become positive, one negative, and occasionally you're going to have to cut it or strip it. So another thing you might want to do is, so like here, I might just cut it, but I'm not going to cut it all the way through. It just allows me to get to the wire. So I'm going to cut it barely, and then I'm going to separate it out. So if I do that, okay, I don't know if you can see that on there. You see how I separated it? There's a gap right there. So now when I go to connect another wire, I can just loop it to that copper. And that allows me to be connected to that wire right there. But you have to get to the copper for them to be electrically connected.
How is like the switch act is so you have to like never mind. I think I got it.
So let's go back to this house right here, right? So what I did is this is your positive and negative, right?
Right.
So, sorry, so here's your that's that long wire I'm going to take
Mhm.
around. Here's where then my light comes in and I have to tap into that long wire. So I cut it right there and it exposed all the copper, and that's where I connected everything to the positive. So it's just all twisted together right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay, try that while we're online right now. So we have some time left. Okay, Matthew, let me pull up your floor plan.
Ma'am, just like unravel all this.
All right, hold on. Let me say that. Yes, so you didn't see what I just showed, Brendan?
No, I was working on the switch thing.
All right, ready? So here's the lights. Okay, if you go back to my video here.
So I
Okay,
just unravel.
yeah, so just pull that. So just start pulling the light out and you see how you're left behind with all that extra wire, right? So when you cut your lights, you're going to cut them singly, but cut in between the two lights so you have enough wire left. So that becomes now your connecting wire, okay? Now,
Yes,
really,
ma'am.
I really want you guys to have some, I mean, learning how to wire stuff is really, really cool. And a future in electricity, electrical engineers and stuff is, top notch if you have an interest in it. So that's why I wanted to do this, because it's probably a subject that was not covered a whole lot with you. And I wish I had more time with you all to be able to do more. All right, so Matthew, thank you for waiting. Let me pull yours up if I remember where I saved it. I think I saved it in my grades.
Man, why is my light so bright? I feel like it's gonna like burst.
I was just going to say, do not leave your light on for a long time on a 9-volt battery because it will burn it out. Who said that? Who was asking that?
Matthew.
Okay.
Coach.
Did it just
wait.
burn out for you?
Man, it's getting black. Like I can tell it's burning.
Yeah, so just shut it off. It's just the 9 volts is a little bit high for these lights. About 6 volts is what we really want, but 6 volts requires 4 other kind of batteries, and it's just hard to connect those together and make sure they stay together. So you just want to turn it on enough to like see that it's lighting and then shut it back off.
How do I set up 2 AA batteries?
Okay, 2 AA batteries, you're just going to have to butt up against one another. And what I found to be the easiest thing to do, so you want to go positive and negative. I don't think I have a second one here with me.
So like this?
You want to, yep, do that. So what I found to make sure they stay secure is to put a piece of foil or something in there so that there's a constant connection. And then you want to take tape and just wrap them together. So they need to be stuck together like this. And then leave this end open and this end, because that becomes your positive and negative. But they just need to be connected in a positive and negative. So there are holders and stuff you can get to hold those together, but unfortunately we're not together to be able to do that. All right, Matthew, here's what I sent you yesterday. So I'm not sure what question, the only comment I did not make, I think I wrote in the email reply to you,
The outlets.
is the outlets. So if we go back and I can do those for you.
So the lines you edited, those are positive lines?
Correct. Well, not really. They're really neutral, because positive is coming from here. This is your positive, right? So what these are, we would consider neutral because they're simply connecting to the switch. So there are 2 lines that go to the switch. They both have to go to the switch. So to save wire, you can connect them up here and then lead them to the switch. But in reality, what you're doing is you're just taking both of them and taking them to the same part of the switch. So
Okay.
for for your outlets, they're a little small, but I think you'll be able to see this. You just need one side to go to positive,
No
and
one goes negative.
and one goes to negative, and that's it. Now, you won't be able to tell. Make sure you jump over the positive so you don't touch. Positive and negative can never, ever touch. And the biggest mistake people make in this wiring is they allow the positive and negative to touch, and therefore nothing will work because everything will be shorted out. So make sure you keep the wires insulated and nothing on positive and negative touches. Okay? All right, does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this looks great. The only way you can test your outlets, let's see if I turn mine on, I'll show you how I'm going to test that real quick. Okay, so this is for everybody. If you are putting in outlets, so I didn't require that because you can certainly put that in. I made that comment to you, Matthew, because you have the garage. But let's say my outlets are these brass nails in the back. The way you test it is to just take an empty light like this and plug it in, touch it to the positive and negative, and it should just come on. So I think this light works. And if I put it across here, oh, I might have disconnected. Yeah. All right, so my battery is on. I'm going to take this light and I'm simply going to plug it in like that, and my light's coming on. So I'm simply taking it and plugging it in and touching it to my outlet. And that's how you would test all your outlets. All right, I like the construction that I'm seeing. I want to remind you guys that I have office hours at 2 o'clock. I'm happy to sit with you then and keep building. I actually have to take off of the day on Friday, so I will not have my office hours on Friday. However, I'm more than happy, even in the evening. I mean, if we want to do if you want to get, Frankie, I see light. Who else has light? Is that working off of a switch?
Damn, look.
Yay!
I am.
Oh, Matthew, is that working off of a switch?
No.
Ah.
Can't figure out the switch.
Man, does this work as a? Is it just like that?
That's a perfect switch, yes, as long as those nails are conductive. Now, Drew, here's what you want to do with your switch, okay? Take one of those nails, all right, Drew, you looking? And put,
Yep.
Matthew, this is for you also, put the nail through the paper clip like that.
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be stuck into the box so that it can pivot on that.
Yeah, that's what I have mine as.
And the other nail, you're just going to take and put near the paper clip. So I can lift this up, and then when I close it, I touch this other paper clip, and I can just tuck it behind the nail. So one nail, you want the paper clip to be attached to it, and you'll poke it through the cardboard, right? And the other nail, you want it to just be right there, so that it's within the distance of the length of the paper clip, so I can open my switch, which is that I rotate that up, right? And I close my switch. See, I have that like that. Frankie, do you want me to challenge you with the three-way switch too? I want to see if you can do that.
I mean, sure, I don't care.
Are you, so you're wiring, so Matthew, did that help with your switch? And Drew?
Yeah, no, it's just like connecting it. I don't really know.
And our buddy Brock, he check out on us? Somebody send him a text. Tell him I noticed that he's no longer with us. Sneaky boy. All right, Frankie, do you remember the drawing of the three-way?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, should I do it from my main lights or like the little side light?
Have you
That
connected?
little one.
You can do that one because you haven't connected it yet. The other ones are already on a switch, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I don't want to mess those up. I'm just saying if you have the lights and you have switches, it's fun to add it in because it's like, oh, that actually works. So
Right.
pretty cool. I'll draw it up here on the whiteboard for you real quick, just so you have it again. So where that light is, it's not connected yet, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's do that. So you're going to build two switches, have three nails like that, right? wherever you want those two switches located, you basically connect the switches together in the middle and on the top. And then these both go to negative. So they're really connected together also, but you just tap into the negative that's closest to them.
Yeah.
Your paper clip should be on this one. But the difference with this is the switch always has to be like connected between two. So I always need my paper clip either here, like that, or down to test it out.
All right.
You never want to leave it open. It has to always be connected one way or the other. Both of these up on top will both go to your light, and then your light goes to positive. So the way this works, I shouldn't have done that. This doesn't need to be there. So either they both go to your light or they get connected. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I had an extra line in there. I'm going to take this one out because I think it just makes it neater looking. All right, so how this works is I leave my positive. When I leave my light, this isn't going to work because I can't get to my negative. So when I flip this switch, which means my down here, they will now work because I can get to my negative, right? But remember, I use this switch to turn it on. When I flip this switch, it should shut it off. So flipping that switch means I'm going to connect down here. Now, I still can't get to my negative, but either switch will turn it on. And that's what it's for. So it's like if you have, so in a kitchen, a lot of times in the kitchens, you have two entrances, one to the garage, maybe one to your living room. So in a kitchen, it is neat. Most kitchens have a three-way switch of some sort where two switches are turning on one light. Yeah. So priority, guys, say that again, I'm sorry. For your priority, if you get the lights on, so I want that one light off of one switch, Jack, two lights off of one switch. So that's the one thing you got to add onto your diagram. Did you work on that? You want me to look at it again?
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Okay. If all of you guys get that done and you don't get to the decorating side, I'll take that into consideration. You guys are all working very hard right now. I understand we are under time constraint. Drew and Frankie, am I going to get to see you on Monday?
Isn't Monday AP Calc?
No, Tuesday.
Oh, well,
Tuesday
yeah.
is AP Calc.
Monday
Yeah, I'll be
is art. Monday is your art exam.
I
Tuesday.
think so. I mean, we're just submitting stuff, so it should be fine.
Okay.
Art exam.
I just want to make sure I get to say goodbye.
Right.
And that you can show me your projects. So for everybody, I definitely need to, whatever you have on Monday, we're going to be done with. Like, that's going to be your grade. I don't want to drag this on for you guys, especially seniors. Ben, that's another story. It's you and I from here on out.
Whole class got D's.
Hey, Ben, do you have an H period class
I do have an H period class.
that meets online?
Yeah, Spanish.
Okay, that's not going to work. I was doing to my juniors that are in the engineering class. Maybe I'll see if they have a B period. All right, Ben, we'll talk about how we're going to finish out the year.
Okay.
And Brendan, how about you? Doing all right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out.
Well, we have lunch right now. The hour lunch is long, plenty time for me. If anybody wants to work for another 10, 15 minutes, half hour, I'm more than happy to sit on here while you guys build, wire, whatever.
I might come on back for office hours at like 2. I just have to get more wires.
Yeah, that's fine. I will be on at 2 o'clock and I can stay on beyond that too today. Drew, that looks good.
And my switch works. Kind of.
Okay, so now,
I feel like connect the wires better, but like, yeah.
okay. So the reason for the 3 nails, that third nail is not connected to anything. Can you turn it back up the other side and let me see what's going on the other side? Your wiring?
I mean, I connect the wires on the front, and then I just push the nail down so the wires would stay better.
Okay. What I'm
So
asking,
like wrap.
what is each nail connected to? So you have 3 nails, but only 2 of them get connected, right? Yeah. The other way it's
Yeah.
off. Okay.
The nail, I think that one's supposed to be like where it turns on to.
That's perfect. Yeah. So you just don't have that nail connected anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's exactly
Okay.
right. There you go.
I don't think I have enough wire though.
If you took apart a whole strand, you should have plenty.
Okay. Well,
Plenty
I mean,
of.
I just use like all my wire for this.
Did you go up to the school and get the wire? Get the light? Okay, that's from me. Okay, well, just, you don't have to, for you then, do not worry about putting your light in the middle of the room if you have a bigger box. If you have like a shoe box, that should be enough wire. That wire, so you have the motor then, Drew? Did
Yeah, I
you
have a
have the motor?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then what I want you to do is I want you to wire up that motor. I want you to wire up your fan. Build me a ceiling fan. That's cool.
Instead of a light.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You see the 2 prongs on the top of that motor?
Yeah, I already got this light connected though.
No, do a light and a motor. So
Oh,
instead of the 2 lights off of one switch, you're going to put in a fan.
so
Okay,
instead of 2.
everybody else, hold on 1 second. I apologize. Class technically is over. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. So anybody who has to go, you're welcome to go. Anybody who wants to stay and keep on working, keep on. Look how quickly Ben got off.
Coach, I'll probably be back for office hours.
Great. I mean, this works really well for you guys to work in my presence, and I can say, no, looks like you need to do that. That's my goal. So I'm more than happy to do that with you all. And tomorrow, Thursday, I have office hours at 2 o'clock as well. So if today doesn't work, tomorrow works. I don't want this to cause, stress is not a bad thing, but I don't want it to cause like a lot of anxiety. I want you to be proud of what you built and learned. So Matthew, I saw some light, but I want to see a switch with that light. Next. Everybody, like 2 lights off of one switch or the 3-way switch. The one thing I didn't share with you was my grading rubric. I did put it on Blackbaud. So if you want to look, I am going to grade it on neatness, what needs to be in there, and then you can email me if you have any questions. So just so you know what my expectations are. But basically, if you get at least 3 lights working off of like a couple switches, you did great. With a nice, well-drawn circuit diagram. All of you got a homework grade for your circuit diagram, but most of you have to redraw them nice and neat to submit with your final project. Does that make good? Make sense? All right. So, Drew, I can continue looking at your.
Oh man.
If need.
Bye,
All right.
Coach.
See y'all.
Took off a bunch of wire off of the thing I just cut off.
Yeah, be careful with that. That happens.
Okay.
And then you just want to twist those together.
Yeah. I just wanted it longer so I could wrap it around more on the nail.
Yeah, you can.
Assuming I can just hot glue gun, and then after I wrap it around, I can just hot glue it or something.
Yes, not till after you wrap it around. So be careful with hot glue. Sometimes that's and it
It
is.
won't. I know what that is though. So for my box, so it's a pretty big box. This is all I could really find.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just put your light to the one side.
Yeah. So you said I just need a light and a fan.
A light and a fan.
Okay.
Since you have a hot glue gun, cut out little blades. Like look up here. You see my fan?
Yeah, no, I can do all that decorative part.
Yeah, cut out your blades. See?
Yeah, that's I just need to know how to connect it, and I can do everything else.
Well, when you glue those blades up, be sure that you only glue to the axle sticking out, not like deep, or else it'll glue.
The just that
very tip.
Yeah, this thing that spins.
Yeah, and then the 2 prongs that are sticking out the back, that's what you have to connect to electrically.
So it's positive and negative.
Correct.
Okay.
Test it out. Did you pick up 2? I hope you grabbed 2 batteries, not just 1.
Oh, well, I only grabbed one battery, but I have more.
You have 9 volts?
Yeah, I have one in here.
Okay, the 9 volt is what you want
I-
to use.
So one here.
Perfect. Okay, Drew, if you want to connect that fan right now, see if you can get it to the positive and negative. What you will
Okay.
see is it goes really fast.
Okay. Should I just?
My question to you is, how would I slow that down?
Maybe if I like connected a light with it or something.
Drew, perfect. That's
Awesome.
exactly right. So the light has to be in series, but the light isn't going to be, we don't want the light functioning. So look back up here. I had access to these resistors. So you're going to use a light in with your fan. So you see how I'm leaving the light, the fan, and I'm going in here. But you can test it out. See how fast your fan is. But if you want to slow it down, you have to put a light in series with it. And then it'll move slower.
Wait, which one's the positive and negative side for this?
Well, that's not gonna work because you needed to connect to both. You only had one wire. So one side of your light, one side of your fan has to go to positive, the other side has to go to negative. Do not connect across positive and negative. All right, you see the 2 prongs on the top?
Yeah.
Hold those right onto the 2 prongs of the battery.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it'll just, that's what has to be connected. Way too fast, right?
Yeah, it's way too
Now take
fast.
your light and connect it to one part, like this.
I just cut off another light.
You can cut off another light because you're only using one, right?
Yeah, I'm only using one, but it's connected to a wire already, which is connected to the battery.
Oh, we'll take it, cut off another one and strip the ends.
Okay. Both of them?
Yeah, you'll need both sides.
I got one end stripped. Just gonna put one. Okay.
Okay, so look up here on the whiteboard. Here's the battery, right? You have a positive and negative. You leave the positive, go to your light. So you'll leave, and then leave the light and go to your fan. So what you should be able to do right now is like stick that wire into one of those knobs of the fan and twist it on there. So it'll be like on the fan. There's like a little drilled out hole.
And I just twist the.
Yeah, there should be like a little drilled hole there. You can slide.
Yeah.
Perfect. Twist it
Light.
around it nice and tight. Only one wire. Okay. So your empty wire from the light will touch one side of your battery, and the empty prong of your fan will touch the other side of your battery.
Okay. And then, okay, so it's.
So now take the light and touch it to your battery. The one wire of your light that's not connected, and then the prong of your fan that's not connected.
Well, that's.
The light's going to come on. Wait, hold on. Nope. Here's what you have to connect the prong of the fan that's not connected to the light, and the wire of the light that's not connected to the fan. These should stay connected, not go to the battery.
Yeah, that's what I have. So I have the battery up here, and then.
Okay, hold on.
That's up here. So you want me to connect this wire here.
Correct.
That one goes on this part of the battery on the end.
Correct.
But I want prong on the fan on the other side.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I had. So like,
Is the fan spinning?
yeah,
Oh, but slower, right?
yeah, it's slower. So like,
Oh, perfect. I didn't hear it. Okay, so all you have to do is take tape and cover up the light because we don't want the light. We just want a slower fan.
right.
So that light is working as a resistor.
I mean, my fan has a light, you know?
It does. Yeah, you can do that. You can hook them together.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But I guess I could like put the light on the other side of my cardboard like that and just keep the
Correct.
fan
Right.
up
So you
behind the board.
exactly. And if you want to slow it down even more, you just put in 2 lights.
Right.
So once you put the blades on, if you think it's going too fast, you would just put in 2 lights.
hmm
True, that would be considered one of our network circuits. You now have a series circuit, but that's going to sit in parallel with the other light that you're going to hook up.
Okay. Do you want both the fan and the light to come on at the same time?
No, you want those on
Okay.
separate switches.
That's what I was thinking.
You want to go
So-
back to your circuit diagram and add, you want to together add your fan in?
You what?
You want to draw your circuit diagram again together and put your fan in?
Yeah, I can do like a quick one without like drawing everything else. I'll just draw like full electrical stuff.
Well, I just was asking, do you want my help with that or you want to just redo it yourself?
Oh, I think I can figure it out, and I can call you during Zoom hours if I need, I think.
Okay, that sounds good. You're doing great. Very good. I'm glad you got up there to get those supplies.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.